Welcome back to Catch Some SoulShine Season 3. Today I am coming to you from sunny Sarasota, and I really got to thinking, wow, sunshine really does make a huge difference in our healing. I'm going to share with you 3 different things with some information about why sunshine, exercise, and art are instrumental in healing and getting you through life's darkest moments. For those of you that are new, that don't know me, I've encountered tremendous grief in my lifetime. But here I am, after numerous losses, my son, my dad, my grandson, friends, a son by another mother. I am here living an abundantly joyful, happy life, and I know that you can too. I'm creating a special program, the Creative Grief Freedom Formula. And that's not just a drawing class or making art class to get you through life's darkest moments. I have done countless hours of research diving into different techniques and different practices that can help you regain the radically free life that we're all meant to live. So I hope you join me on this journey, and eventually I will be offering that to you, but I'm giving it away for free with this podcast. If you are someone that listens to the podcast, I'd like to hear some feedback in the comments, because this does take time, energy, effort. So please leave me a comment, follow me on YouTube, and like the podcast, share it with your friends, because I really do feel that what I'm sharing with you is instrumental in the healing process. So let's talk about sunshine. And yeah, I'm in it today. I'm in Sarasota. It's absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. And yeah, you're saying, I can't go to Sarasota. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But here's the thing about sunshine. It doesn't matter if it's warm or what the environment is. It's really about getting out into nature, into the sunshine, and benefiting from that. Now, there's a lot of alternative methods, like there's light boxes, because the light really does help us. So I've dug up a little bit of research on this, and in 2020, the Journal of Affective Disorders found that sunlight exposure significantly reduced depressive symptoms by regulating serotonin and melatonin production. Serotonin is the happy neurotransmitter in our brain that makes us feel great. Melatonin is also produced in our brain, and that helps us get a restful night's sleep. So both of these are instrumental in healing and getting you through that dark time. I know for me, after losing my son and my grandson, boy, I had so many sleepless nights, and sometimes I still do. So I use these therapies, these techniques on a daily basis to help me through challenging times in life. Because if you have significant loss in your life, you're always going to have ups and downs. It's not a linear healing path. It's more spiral. So we'll pass through these bumpy places or these dark spots in our life from time to time. So I use all these techniques, and I'm sharing with you everything that I've learned so that you can too. The research published showed that just 10 to 30 minutes a day in the midday sun provides most people with the vitamin D requirements that improve mood and cognitive function. There's been a lot of talk about vitamin D, and there's some vitamin D supplements that you can take if you live in an area that's not real sunny. But like I said before, there's ways of getting that sunshine. Even if it's cold outside, bundle up and get out there, or get yourself a light box. Or you could be like me and travel to sunny Sarasota to get your fill. But it is important to keep it consistent. One of the quotes that I love about sunshine is, "The sun is a reminder that we can rise again from the darkness, that we too can shine our own light." Sea Louse. Some of the things that I want you to keep in mind with sunshine is when we increase our vitamin D production or trigger that vitamin D production with sunshine, it decreases our inflammation process. Inflammation is the cause of so many things: aches and pains, heart disease, GI distress. So it's really important that we just take a little bit of time for ourselves and get some sunshine into your life. The morning light exposure resets the circadian rhythms disrupted by grief and trauma. So get out in the morning. People say, what's the best time of day to get some sunshine? It really doesn't matter. But there is some evidence showing that getting out in the sunshine first thing in the day can help you a little bit more. The warmth of the sunshine, like that warm sunshine on your skin, can provide gentle comfort during emotional coldness. I love the sunshine. I think it's very healing for me. It is one way, right? There are a plethora of things that we can do to help us move through the darkness of grief, but sunshine is one of them. Take what you like, leave the rest behind, make a little effort to get yourself some sunshine, and let me know what you think. The second thing I want to talk about is exercise. And people equate exercise with strenuous activity, or, oh my gosh, I've got to get out and exercise, or I have to go to the gym, or I need to do my yoga practice. But exercise can be simply running the vacuum, or going up and down the stairs at your home, or getting up and walking when you're watching a TV show as opposed to just sitting. Getting outside and getting a walk, that is great exercise. You can weightlift, and there is something to be said about weightlifting techniques, building that muscle mass to strengthen your core and provide extra support for your joints. But there's so many different ways that you can exercise, and I just ask you, think about what you like to do the best. Do you like to jog or walk or lift weights? Do you like to swim? Some people enjoy housework. I'm not one of them, but if you do enjoy housework, just know that you're also helping your body. I know after I've cleaned out some cupboards or mopped the kitchen floor, I can break out a sweat. And I know that it's helpful for my body, my mind, and my healing. In 2018, there was a study that came about regarding depression and anxiety, and it found that exercise is 1.5 times more effective than counseling or medication for depression. So if you're having some anxiety or some depression, make it a point to get some exercise into your daily life. And again, it doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to be intensive. It doesn't have to involve going to the gym. Movement is a medicine for creating change in a person's physical, emotional, and mental status. Carol Welch. A physical movement releases stored trauma in the body. I have a friend, Jenny Cohen, who has a Dancing for Healing program, and she has overcome breast cancer and used dancing to take her through that whole healing process. Like I said, exercise can be dancing in your living room, doing some singing and dancing along, or just radical movements. It doesn't matter. It creates a sense of control when grief in your life feels uncontrollable. Even gentle movements like just flowing with your arms can activate the parasympathetic nervous system and help you regulate your emotions. Okay, so let's talk about art. And if you know me, you know that art has been instrumental in helping me heal through life's darkest moments. I stumbled upon it. I've always loved art, and I love drawing and doodling and painting, but I set it aside because, we think, oh, that's really not important, and I have other things to do, so I'm really not going to pursue this art gig because I just don't have time. I put myself through nursing school, and then I went and got my master's degree in the science of nursing. And then I went on and got my nurse practitioner degree. I felt like that was the most important thing that I do with my life, is help people with that degree. But I've really discovered that art, or creating something, is instrumental for everyone, whether you're still practicing your career, or you're not doing any particular career, or maybe you want to use art as a career. It is instrumental in healing, and there are numerous studies proving, and there's more and more coming out. I have several projects, and they're not just drawing or doodling or neuro art, which I think are all important, but these are actually strategically planned, step-by-step, weekly practices that we will do in the Grief Creative Freedom Formula to help you move through and release some of that trauma. I'm so excited about it, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Art making helps you access emotions that you really can't verbalize. There's some things that just are so hard to put into words when you're going through that grief. And honestly, I found that sometimes people shy away from you when you're going through that grief process because they know how painful it is for you. And it's not that they don't want to help you, but they just don't know how. But if you sit down and you start making some art, and art is anything. It can be messy, it can be scribbles, it can be throwing paint, it can be fluid art. It doesn't matter. Just get out there and do something, and you will realize how meditative that process is and how healing it is for your mind, body, spirit. And then you can actually go over that art and kind of figure out what you were feeling and how you released it. Creative expression provides a safe containment for overwhelming feelings, right? I know when I was watching the news more regularly, which I don't anymore because I don't need that negative impact in my life, but I saw shootings and violence and negativity and racism and all of that projected on the media routinely because sensationalism sells. But it was so harming to my heart that I just got out and I thought, what colors can I use to just really throw them out there and express how I'm feeling? What I discovered is I chose black and red for no particular reason, and the colors that represent something to you may be different than me, and that's the beauty of it. I'm not going to tell you what colors to use because we all have a connection to certain colors and what they can express with us. But I started out with just some rough black and red on the paper, and as I started painting and drawing, it transformed into something absolutely gorgeous. And then I didn't even realize it, but there was a heart within that painting. So your subconscious can work through art, and it can help you transform from some of the deepest, darkest, saddest moments, and then you can see the light. There was another time I was painting abstract, And my youngest son and I were just not mixing oil and water. Everything he said affected me and vice versa. And I went down into the basement and I just started slapping this paint on my canvas, and it was blue because I was feeling blue, and then I mixed in some white and I had some copper iridescent, and I just started throwing it down, and then I realized it looked like this turbulent water, and I just kept painting, and then I was finished. And I hadn't even realized when I was painting that particular painting, which I call the Hand of God, which I do offer a free print for that. So if you're interested, you can check the comments and check it out. But it was so profound because I posted it on social media and I explained how it was just representing turbulent water. And somebody goes, "Oh my gosh, I see the hand of God reaching into the water." And I don't care if you're religious or spiritual or whatever, but that was so profound for me. And I hadn't even realized it. And that painting is just, it means so much to me. So that's what I'm saying. When you're painting, your emotions come out and you don't even realize what is inside of you and how it can translate into art. Creating something new can symbolize the possibility of rebuilding after loss. And I am here to tell you that yes, grief is intense and it's overwhelming. And I'm telling you, at one point, I wished that I would die, or I said, why him? Why not take me? But today, I am living a beautiful, abundant, happy, joyous, and free life. That doesn't mean that grief doesn't come and revisit us from time to time. A song or a memory can trigger those emotions. But I have tools now that I can use to help me release some of that trauma and transform it into this beautiful life that I'm living today. And that's what I want for you too. So if you enjoyed this podcast, I hope that you will leave me a comment and share it with your friends, and I'll continue making content. Leave you with this quote from Picasso. He said, "Art washes away from the soul the dust of every day." We've explored how sunshine can nourish our bodies, exercise liberates our energy, and art making gives voice to our souls. We can begin to see how these elements form a natural pathway through grief. I hope that you enjoyed this discussion today for some practical tools that you can implement in your life right here, right now. And just realize that if you're at the beginning of your journey of grief, just actively participate, even if you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it will transform your life, and you will get to this place of abundance, joy, happiness. Some of the things that I didn't talk about was my Freedom Journal, and you can get a month of that for free. I send you daily prompts in your email. You don't have to do them every day, but do them when you feel like it. You don't have to go in order. It's a spiral thing, so pick and choose which ones you want to do. If you participate actively in journaling and some of the other things that I've talked about today, you'll get through the darkness. I will see you next week, and go catch some soul shine.